I came down in a tight dress the other day, like, like we do, just like full length, whatever. And she was like, oh, I think you should change. You definitely look pregnant. What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of On Display. I'm actually super excited about today's guest. You all know her as a famous movie and television star. She's an incredibly loving mom, and she's someone who has a lot of experience navigating the crazy world of reality TV. I have with me today the gorgeous Denise Richards. Hi, Denise.
Hi. Thank you so much for having me.
Of course. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it. I feel like you are, in my eyes, like for so many years, I've been watching you on so many different levels of TV and film and just everything. Forget Housewives. That's like baby crap compared to like what you've done in life. And I mean, I'm definitely going to ask you a little bit about Housewives, but I'm so interested in just like your life before too, because you're like a megastar. You have been, you have been around forever. And like, it's pretty amazing. It's really pretty amazing. I mean, how are you now? How's the family? How's your hubby?
Oh, the family's good. I have to say though, all weekend, I could not get your song out of my head.
Stop. Which one? On Display?
Well, yeah.
Get out of here. I love that. Why were you listening to On Display? That makes me so happy.
I didn't even have to listen to it. I couldn't get it out of my head when I knew we were going to be talking. It's so iconic and such a great song. So thank you so much for having me on the show. And you have definitely done so much.
Oh, that's
it's
so
incredible
sweet.
With everything. So
thank you. That makes me so happy. I love that you were singing On Display. You know what? It is catchy. It is catchy. It's one of those catchy.
It's a catchy little tune.
It is. It is. Are you still living? You live out in Malibu, right? Are you still out in Malibu?
Actually, we're in Calabasas. My husband's business is in Malibu, so we're in the Calabasas area.
Got it. Okay, good. Well, listen, I need to talk to you about some of the breakdown because I think my listeners, I mean, obviously we know you from the Housewives and stuff too, but there's so much more to you and so much depth and like you have so much experience just in TV and film. So like talk to me about how did everything start for Denise Richards? Like the Denise Richards we know today.
Well, I definitely did not grow up in this business. I'm from a small town in Illinois, and I started modeling when I was 15 years old. My mom entered me into a modeling competition for a clothing line, Esprit. A lot of people won't even know what it is, but
I completely know. I know what it is. I haven't heard that in so many years.
Like,
it's so
exactly.
Funny.
That's how how long ago it was. But anyway, and I started modeling but I'd always wanted to act. And once I started modeling, I then just decided that I didn't want to focus on that. I wanted to continue more and focus on acting. And I was very lucky, to be honest. I played younger than my age. And so they didn't need to have all the, legalities that they needed I played 15 years old. I was in the children's division at Harry Gold's agency. Tracy Gold, who was on a TV show, Growing Pains.
Yes, Tracy Gold.
I was with her father's agency, and I was in the children's division. So I played 15 years old and 14 at the time when I signed with the agency. And luckily, I didn't need to have a lot of credits. They didn't expect that for that age or my age, and just started plugging away and pounding the pavement and just taking classes and just working hard.
I mean, and you fell into the acting role. Was that something that you always really wanted to start with, or were you into the modeling? Did you not?
No, I was not into the modeling. I was more into the acting. I wanted to do that. And so I really kind of stopped that and just wanted to focus on acting. And as soon as I got with my agency, I booked 2 shows right away. It was one line in each one, so it wasn't like a stretch for me. But and I thought, wow, this is easy. Like you just I auditioned and booked jobs. Well, I went through all the rejections and everything, and
I'm
whatever
sure
it
that's a
was.
thing in itself. It's funny. My mother always tells me that she read about that actors have like the highest IQs and they're some of the smartest people in the world. Is that true? My mother always tells me that. She says like, you have to be super, super smart to be an actor. And I kind of
Well,
agree
tell
with
your
that.
mom I said thank you.
That's Donna Marco for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Was your mother supportive? Like, did they bring you to all the auditions and all of that when you were
No,
young?
I was old because I was it was after I turned 18. They came with me when I started modeling because I was younger. But once I started acting, I was going on all the commercial auditions, every audition I was going on, but and I lived by myself. I wasn't living with my parents. They lived in San Diego and I lived in LA, but it was, I was really focused on that. And that was what my passion was and is and has always been. So I'm very grateful and very lucky that I've been able to work in this business for as long as I have.
Right. I mean, work, you have done everything from Saved by the Bell, Married with Children, Doogie Howser, 90210, Melrose Place. I mean, you name it. You were in every monumental, the biggest shows, like you were in everything. You were working, girl. But all of those shows were just huge. They're like fan favorite shows that like the world has seen and the world like loves. I mean, that you got placed on everything. And I feel like, was it always difficult for you or not difficult? Probably kind of nice that I feel like you were always known as the hot girl, right? You were always known as the pretty girl. You always had, you're obviously a gorgeous woman and you've been since you were very young. I mean, was it ever, back then when you were on some of those other shows, it was more of like, the boys club. And did you ever feel disrespected at any time or do you have any experiences where it was like something felt wrong that you're looking back at now or it didn't feel right?
I think that I was always I was actually very innocent and I didn't grow up here. And for me, I always just focused on the work. And the thing is with, getting all the roles that I got, which were one-liners here and there, and you just kept working and trying to get, and then I got pilots. And then the pilots you would think, oh, you got a pilot and what's involved in getting that. And then It doesn't even go to series. There was a pilot I did for Aaron Spelling and everyone thought it was during the 90210 and Melrose Place and all that. And we thought, oh, for sure, this thing's getting picked up. It did not get picked up. And just for me, I just focused on work and just keep going. And every rejection that I got, the one job that I did get, and this is what I tell actors that ask me, like, what's the best advice? And I always say, when you get that job, all the rejection is worth that job if that's truly your passion. You know what I mean? Because it's hard and being told no and having to deal with the stuff you just brought up. It's a lot, but it is what it is, and you just have to keep working and following your dream and your passion.
For sure, especially during that time when we know it was a lot more common probably than it is now. There's so many different, actions in place now and everyone's more like aware, but you were really living and working a lot during that time. And, so it's a thing. It's so great, like where we've come today with it all. Wait, I need to ask you about a specific role because everyone knows on my podcast, I love Friends. I still watch all the reruns. You were on an episode of Friends, right? Did you do one or a couple episodes or something?
I did one episode. I wish it was a couple, but it was only one. And I am so grateful. And I was so nervous.
Oh my God. Were you nervous? Was it amazing?
Terrified. I was terrified.
Well, what's the energy like on set there? Is it just, are they easy? You're walking into all these people.
They were so nice. And I'll never forget, we would rehearse and they would just move forward. Like the rehearsal was, okay, we're running our lines for a second, then they go to the next scene. I'm like, wait, hold on a second. I don't know what I'm doing here. It was obviously they were such a well-oiled machine. And at the time I was on, I think it was almost their, it was close to their 10th season. I was on one of the last couple of years. So it was, but I was terrified and so intimidated. At the table reading, I thought, I'm going to get fucking fired. I was so scared to work on the show.
I give you so much. I would never. This is why I always think like, oh yeah, I would love to be an actor, I would die. I would just sit there and start talking gibberish. I'd be like, you know what? Forget it, guys. Let me just sit back here and watch it with you. I think I would shake like a leaf. Yeah, I don't blame you. That's quite the set to walk onto.
Yeah.
You were in, if we're going to talk movies then for a second, you were in huge movies too. Drop Dead Gorgeous, the Bond movie. Is that like a pinch me moment? Like playing a Bond girl?
Yeah, it was. But actually, and I've said this before, I had never seen a Bond movie when I got the role, but I had to go through, I think I auditioned, I can't even count how many times. And then they flew up, about, I think 5 or 6 of us actresses there. I don't even know who else screen tested. They kept us all separate, and we all had a screen test with Pierce Brosnan in London. And I'll never forget this. It was over Thanksgiving, and I am such a family girl. And so my mom had my dad go with me to London while I screen tested for the movie. And then, 2 weeks later, they called and said I got the part. So I was very, very excited, obviously.
Obviously, that is like huge. I mean, you're definitely known for some incredible roles, but I have to ask you, was there ever anything that you turned down at that time and that you regret and maybe you never took it or you passed on it?
Yes, and I haven't said what those are.
Oh, really? Okay, they're good ones.
You know what? I don't have any regrets. It's life choices, and it's life, and things happen for a reason. And I feel that sometimes there's a reason you're not doing a project and you're meant to do something else or whatever, or a time in your life, whatever it is. So
I was just speaking to someone about this and how it's just don't talk about your regrets. Don't talk about what you wish you could have, should have, would have. Like,
exactly.
Look forward. It's so true.
No, I'm the same way. I feel that, things happen for a reason, and they're life lessons, positive and negative. And we just have to learn from those and move onward and upward. And I've always been the glass is half full, and it's 1,000%. What you put out there,
1,000%. It's like you can only learn and move forward, right? From everything.
Right.
We say
if
that.
I really thought about shit that I did that I could regret.
You're like, all right, let's go.
Depression. So I can't do that.
I love it.
So I'm like, you know what? It's all good.
It's all good. It makes us who we are. It gives us a little story. Have you ever written a book? Did you ever write a book?
I did write a book, but I should write a book now.
You know what? I'm buying it. I would definitely read it. I read all, like, I'm telling you, when you put it all down and then you can just be like, all right, this is life. Give it another 5 years. I bet you'll have even juicier stories.
I have a lot of juicy stories, but I need to write a new book.
A new year brings new goals, right? But what about your skincare goals? It's not too late to start. Small, easy changes in your routine can have amazing results, and your secret weapon should definitely be Dime Beauty. Dime Beauty is clean, high-end skincare that is affordable, and it really, really works. Dime didn't sacrifice performance just to make it clean either. And when I say clean, Dime is 100% transparent about every single ingredient, so you can use their products daily with confidence. So I wanted to take the guesswork out of my routine. So I started with their Works collection. I don't have to remember the order of a 10-step routine. No one has time for that. I especially do not. The Works system is everything you need in one powerful package. It includes a gentle cleanser, a toner, 2 incredible serums, and 2 luxurious moisturizers. Dime has over 2 million happy customers, and their product reviews literally are all 5 stars. If you haven't checked out Dime, like, where have you been? Love your skin again. Go to dimebeautyco.com now and unlock 20% off when you use code Melissa20. That's dimebeautyco.com. Use Melissa20 for 20% off. You are going to love this stuff. All right. Well, somehow you went from TV, right, to movies and doing some reality TV in that as well.
Right.
I mean, looking back, what was your favorite? And I'm sure you're not going to say reality TV unless maybe you're going to shock
I'll tell
me.
you my favorite job ever was Starship Troopers.
Really?
Yes, because all of us actors, we were at the same level of our career. We were up and coming. No one knew who the hell we were. And it was a 6-month shoot. And I'll never forget this. When we were first cast, people would be like, oh my God, it's 6 months long. And we were like, oh my gosh, we're so excited. We get to be filming for 6 months.
Wow.
We were so excited. So
we thought that was great to film that long.
And we just all I'm still friends with a lot of the cast members. And there was just such a camaraderie, and I don't know. There was just, it's such it was like being in college or something. You know what I mean? It was such a wonderful time and experience. And it's one of the best memories that I have of a movie that I did.
It left its mark.
Sorry, my daughter's leaving.
Oh, hi, cutie.
She just left.
Bye. All your daughters live with you, right?
My oldest is on her own.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
okay,
but
good.
The others are.
Yeah, I'm going through this right now. My daughter just started college this year.
It's hard, right?
Yes, it's so strange not having her in the house. She's also I have 2 sons also, but she's so bossy that like I kind of was relieved for a minute that she wasn't bossing me around or telling me that my outfit looks ridiculous.
Right.
I came down in a tight dress the other day, like, like we did, just like full length, whatever. And she was like, oh, I think you should change. You definitely look pregnant. You need to turn around and take that off. I was like, I'm so happy you're home for 2 weeks. Like, I really missed you. Great. Thank you so much. Like,
girls are bossy.
Yes, and she doesn't hold back on how she feels about anything when it comes to me. She's sweet as pie to her dad, but to me, It's like your hair, your makeup. What are you wearing? I'm like, all right, go back to college.
Sometimes daughters with mommies go through a little phase. I'm
in it. I think I'm like, she's definitely in the phase right now where it's kind of like, I'm the aunt. Like, she doesn't want to hear what I have to say. I almost think she'll do she'll do opposite of what I say. So,
and how old is she?
She's 18.
18. Yeah.
Yes, she's 18. So we're, that's happening. But anyway, I do want to talk to you a little bit about the Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, just because I'm so curious. I have to, because it's iconic, obviously, to my listeners.
You're on the Housewives.
So I know. And
they met you at BravoCon.
We did, right? Like, I know I did. And I wish we had a drink together or something and spend a little more time.
We were backstage in the green room.
Yes.
We were and then you called your husband, and your husband's like, is Aaron coming? And you said, is Aaron coming? I go, no, he's in LA.
Yes.
So
okay, I remember.
Before they had to take us out on stage.
I remember that now. Okay, I remember exactly when. I knew we talked at BravoCon, but I couldn't remember like where I saw you or how it happened.
We talked backstage in the green room with 5,000 people.
Yes. Okay, I remember. Aaron did not come to BravoCon, right?
No, he didn't.
Good for him.
Though. Yeah, I should have, but whatever. I didn't realize what the heck it was. No one did. It was the first BravoCon.
What did you think of BravoCon? Honestly, were you like, "What? This is a shit show"?
I think I have no idea what it's like now, but I think it's unbelievable the magnitude of the network. And
huge.
It
is crazy
of all these shows and the Bravo celebrities.
For sure. If you're going to be on reality TV, I guess that's the network to be on, right? I mean, they're doing something right.
Bravo. No, it's. I think it's wonderful that they do it for all the fans, and it was it was so great to be able to personally see a lot of the fans in person and talk to them and take pictures and stuff. They were so kind and really lovely and wonderful. It was a wonderful experience for me.
That's awesome. And then you get to kind of, because it's an unfiltered version of you, right? And they get to meet you in person. And then you get to feel the love of how much they do appreciate you on the show and love you. And that's nice. That is the best part of BravoCon, I will say. It is. So like before you joined, did you watch the show? Were you very aware of it and knew
I did
about
watch
it all?
the show. Yeah.
You did. And you saw the drama, but you were just like, listen, it's something new. It's something fresh. Like what made you finally say, I'm going to jump in. I'm going to join this cast?
I thought it would be fun and something I have never been in that environment before. I did do a reality show, but not with women that some I knew and a lot of them I didn't. So I had never been in that environment before. And I just thought it would be fun and something different. And, at the time I was really close to Lisa Rinna, who had such a wonderful experience on the show. And so I thought, oh, this could, yeah, sure.
Sure. I'll try it. Are you still close with her? Do you still talk to Lisa?
No, I'm not.
Okay. I wasn't sure.
Yeah.
I don't really know the background.
And that's I was friends with her for a long time, but things happen. And I always say you learn about people when you travel, work, or live with someone.
I always say, even with relationships, like my makeup artist,
that's my biggest
right?
thing. Yeah.
I mean, come on, a lot of my hair and makeup girls are still single and they're dating. And like when they go on these vacations with these guys that they tell me about, because I love to vicariously live through them and their dating stories, because I'm going on 20 years of marriage. So I'm like, who are you dating? Who did you have sex with? What's happening? Give me all the juice. And when they go on the vacation with them, they come back and they suddenly don't like them anymore. It's crazy. It's a huge.
Everyone. You learn a lot, right?
Yes. It's like you're either like, okay, we can do this or we can't do this. Like, and that's that.
That's a good time.
Yeah. I mean, obviously I know you just came back for that dinner. I mean, when the producers looked at you and said, so we're going to go have like this weed dinner, what were your first thoughts? Were you like, I've never even heard of one, if I'm being honest.
I said, I can't have weed.
Okay.
And then I was told, Kyle told me that they could accommodate that. And then I was actually sick, and we have to do all the COVID tests.
Yes, the whole thing. Yes.
So I was sick, and I had to do 3 tests because I called too the day of. I said, look, I really do not feel good, so I had to do another test, and was told, as long as you are negative and if you feel up to it. And then I stupidly went. I didn't want to not go because I didn't want them to say, oh, she didn't show up.
Right. I get that completely. So yes.
I did go. But whatever. It was like, it was so
fun to watch. I'm not going to lie. Sure, like I love when you come in. I wish you were on every episode. If it were up to me, you would be. Like,
thank you. I'm sure my family isn't saying that, but
I know. But
I pull out of myself. But here's the thing that I didn't understand is a lot of the women have had a night on these shows, as you know, right?
Everyone, everywhere, on every franchise.
Why did everyone make such a big deal with me?
Because you're a superstar, Denise. Because it's more fun when you're a superstar.
I made an asshole out of myself.
No, because it's just and you know what? You have this like bubbly, you're very personable too. So I feel like it's relatable for you to have like a moment, and people can relate because we've all been there, and we've all I think that's what it is, and it's just because you hadn't been on in a minute, so. That's kind of like a comeback moment for you.
And look at her. She's so fucking sideways.
I just wanted to go hang out with you wherever we were going to go hang out.
Well, my husband would have been like, you deal with her tonight. Because when I got home, he's like, what the fuck is wrong with you? I go, I don't fucking know.
Oh my God. You're like, I don't even know what's happening. Well, obviously you didn't eat any of the party favors or the weed or whatever was being passed around, right? All right, we don't have to answer that question.
I
That's
really
fine.
don't know.
I'm just saying it really was like a fun episode. I enjoyed
I'm so glad you enjoyed it.
I did. I'm so sorry you had such a bad experience. I will say that.
No, I
also.
didn't have a bad experience. I'm like, you know what? It's like at a certain point in your life and it's whatever.
I get it.
I've had everything and under the sun written and said about me. I'm like, okay, so there's a night where I'm at a weed party and
what better place
sideways. I mean, of all places to be sideways, I would rather be sideways at a weed party, which, by the way, I found out slightly odd. I didn't know that Kyle was sober at the time. Who hosts a weed party being sober?
Exactly. Is she sober from the weed too, or was it just the alcohol? I couldn't.
Well, I have no idea. So, I mean, you're friends with her. Is she?
I never asked her. I didn't.
Or
you know what? I think
a little strange that she would host a weed party being sober.
I mean, yeah. Now that you're saying it, it never like passed my mind. But now that you're saying it, yes, that's an odd party to throw. Odd. While you're having your sober moment. I guess so. I didn't even think of that. That makes a lot of sense. I mean, that makes a lot of sense. You know what? I don't know if it came through or not, like why you were mad at Erica. Do you feel like you got it out? Like, because I feel like people are confused why you were really mad at her.
Well, it wasn't that I was mad at her. I started the evening saying to her that she was much nicer to me without her friend around, Lisa. And what I was trying to ask her, what changed from my first season to my second season? What did I ever do to her? That's what I was trying to get her to explain.
Right. Like you've never done anything to come for her. So
yeah, I'm like, that's what I didn't understand. Like why she kept coming at me my second season and she couldn't remember.
Right.
But,
yeah. Okay. So that makes sense.
Flight 562 is
Oh my gosh, Brooke, we're gonna miss our flight.
We didn't finish the promo.
Can we just record it on the plane?
I will not be that person.
What if we record it in the bathroom?
Ew, no, that is disgusting.
Well, we'll just have to go off the cuff and tell everyone about our podcast right now, called Gals on the Go.
Well, we are two gals constantly on the move with weekly conversations about friendship, navigating your 20s, relationships, trends, and just our exciting, chaotic lives.
With Brooke Nietzsche and Danielle Carolyn, please come to the gate.
Well, I think it's time to board now, but this should be enough, right?
Yeah, I'm sure they won't use it.
But in case they do, new episodes of Gals on the Go drop every Wednesday.
Find us wherever you get your podcasts.
And you're very good friends with Garcelle, right? Are you guys good friends?
I love Garcelle, yeah.
Have you guys ever been in any movies or anything like that together?
We did one of our very first pilots and we were trying to remember the name of it when we both moved to LA and we can't. So obviously it was a very memorable pilot. That's where we met each other.
Well, it must have felt good to at least have her in the room, right? Where
God.
You knew there was someone you can rely on and trust.
We have fun. And we see each other and have seen each other outside of the show. And we've known each other for years. So we have fun together.
Right. You know what? I forgot you were also on a show back in the day, or not even that long ago, called It's Complicated on E, right? I forgot you had that reality show too.
Yeah, yes.
Is there big differences between that and this?
Well, yeah, because that was with my family and this was with.
Right. So you don't have to worry about anybody coming at you sideways for no apparent reason.
And that's what I didn't understand. Like, I think that sometimes women have to remember you can just have fun. And if you get a bunch of women together, you will get your drama. You don't have to try and make it up. You know what I mean?
Right. It's just going to come naturally by what people say and do and how they act.
If you get a group of women together and get into a conversation, the drama will happen and it'll be real. But then if you're getting a group of women together and they're trying to say so-and-so said this, so it's like we're not in fucking high school.
Right. It's so hard.
And
Even
the
for
whole
me.
receipt thing, I don't get. I have a lot of receipts if I want to show them, but I don't because I am not in high school or junior high. It's just like, who does that as a grown-ass woman? Like,
And
fuck
it's
it. If someone doesn't believe me about something I say, I'm like, I don't even give a shit. I'm not going to show some stupid-ass receipt. I just I don't understand that whole thing, but it's fine. I get that. Everyone likes to do that and show things and whatever. I don't do it because I just like, fuck it. If they don't believe me, I don't care. I don't care.
You know what? You're good with just your like personality that you bring to the table. So I don't think that when you walk into these scenes that you feel that you need to bring receipts or try to hurt or dig shit up on people's past. Like we all have a past. And I feel like you just walk in as yourself and that's good enough. But other people do need to do the digging and figure out how they're going to keep their jobs and how they're going to stay there. And I deal with that on my show all the time. I'm not one to like dig in on anyone's past either or care what they did when they were 16 and 17. And I don't give a shit. But like some of the girls on these shows, that's like how they survive with being the villain or being, doing the dirty. Because
I feel like feel like they have to do that to stay on the show. You are in a very tough spot.
Oof.
On your
so
tough.
Have
been, and I give you a lot of credit because it's very, I can imagine it's got to be very extremely hard for you and your husband and having your sister-in-law and his sister and family stuff. Oh my God, that's very difficult.
Oh, you have no idea. It's definitely a roller coaster up and down. And we're about to air again in the spring, sometime this spring. And it's a very, very different. Like we literally, Denise, we don't even speak to each other. There's almost zero. So it's very different. It's a very, very different season. So
does she talk to your husband?
No.
Oh,
zero.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry.
That's fine. That's a whole nother, please. That's a whole nother.
Maybe one day you guys will get to a place because at the end of the day, at the end of everything, you have your family and, your close loved ones and your friends. So hopefully one day you guys will get to a place. And if you don't, then that was the journey that it was supposed to be, as sad as that is. I mean, but hopefully, something will change.
You're right. And I think it took us a while to get to that point to realize that this might be what it is. And we need to accept it. I think finally everyone's breathing and we're actually all, including the other side, everyone is happier how it is right now. So yeah, I mean, that's why our reality show is so different, I would say, from everybody else's, right? Because of this. I mean, although you had Kyle and all the sisters over there too, we had all the Richard sisters with you guys, right?
But they don't stay around.
I know, they come in and they go out. I know.
I love Kathy and I like Kim. I've met Kim a couple times, but Kathy I love too. So it's a wonderful dynamic, but I'm sure that they realize like it affects their family too much. I don't know.
For sure. It's please. I know it's a lot.
Hard.
I mean, would you say would you go back? Would you do it again? Would you jump into
I'm always one that is a never say never type of girl.
I love that. I always say that too. Never say never because it always ends up happening exactly what you thought is not going to happen in all aspects of life. I feel like it's so true.
Exactly.
It's so true. Well, what's next for Denise Richards? What's going on right now? Tell me anything current you're working on before I let you go, because it was just like so nice talking to you. It really is. You're really so down to earth and you're just like a cool, chill human. You really are. You really are.
Thank you so much for saying that.
You're welcome. You have that like aura about you. You really do.
Thank you. You do too.
Do I? Good. I probably have that like New York, New Jersey vibe of chill.
I wish I had the New York, New Jersey more in me. But no.
So what's next? Are you working on anything right now? Anything going on?
Well, we were on strike for quite a while.
Right. Yes.
So I was out of work filming wise, but I'm also doing other stuff, producing some other projects and filming some stuff that I have coming up. But I'm very grateful, and thank God, like, so grateful that I, continue to work in this business that I love so much. And, I just take everything one day at a time.
And you know what? I know you're very big into like philanthropy, a lot of charities you work with too, which is amazing. It's really, really great.
No, I always think, we got to give back. And, so I like to stay busy. And, I have my youngest daughter. She's special needs. So there's a lot of stuff with her that we have. And then dealing with my teenagers and being a mom, as you know, and juggling work and being a wife and everything. But it's all good. I feel very happy and very blessed.
I always say being a mom is always like the absolute hardest role. And it's what makes us super women and heroes at the end of the day. One day, hopefully we'll sit in our rocking chairs and be like, it was a shit show for a moment, but it all worked out and everyone's happy and healthy. And that's all we can hope for, right? With kids. So
do you sometimes feel that work is a vacation?
Yes, actually, I do. I appreciate the time off, but I also, I own clothing stores, I own boutiques, and that's really my space to kind of go and be at work and just enjoy the clothing and enjoy what I do. Like, that's really like my happy place when I go to Envy and, I'm at my boutique, I'm happy there. So yes, I do like to go to work.
Decompress, actually.
Yes, and look at the clothes. Not so much Housewives. I don't decompress there, but when I go to the boutique, I'm very happy.
When I have a location job, I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I get to go to the hotel after I wrap and order room service and be by myself. Call everyone, be like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And I'm like, so relaxed.
Yeah, and you don't have to have any guilt because you are working and you are supposed to be there and you're making the money for them. So that's that.
I know. It's
the best
terrible,
part.
But it's the truth as a mom.
It is the truth. And I don't think there's a mom out there who wouldn't admit it. I mean, it is what it is. We all need we need a moment to remember that we're actually human beings ourselves, right? Yeah. Instead of like micromanaging all of these smaller human beings. That's what I always say. Oh my God. Well, Denise, it was so nice to chat with you. I'm so happy that we did this today. Good luck with everything. If it was up to me, you're going to be on as many episodes as possible so I could watch you because I think you're fantastic on all of it.
Thank you. And I can't wait to see your season.
Thank you. It's coming out. I can't give dates, but soon, spring. It'll be out in the spring. Yes. Thank you so much. It was great talking to you. And hopefully maybe I'll see you out in LA.
Yeah, that would be great.
Hold on to your jingle bells. Pluto TV has all your holiday favorites for free. Enjoy Christmas classics like Scrooge with Bill Murray or Last Holiday with Queen Latifah. Plus, dive into festive channels like Holiday Movie Favorites by Lifetime or Hallmark Movies and more. Download the Pluto TV app on all your favorite devices and start streaming holiday favorites on live channels and on demand. With thousands of free movies and TV shows, Pluto TV is your home for the holidays. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.